This week we head over to Margate Hospital to go and price up a new car park area for them. We head down to the yard to find out what damage has been caused in the recent move. And finally, is the Warrior on its last legs? I'm Simon Pettit, this is the Pettit Group 5 Dayer, and this is episode 2. So we're at Margate Hospice today to price up a new car park for PCM Groundworks. We're just going to set up the Leica level, go with Leica, the best brand. For those who know, don't bother with a cheap brand, go with that. We're going to set up, get a few levels, then we can work out the muckaway that's got to come out, type 1 sub base and the tarmac and that we're replacing it. Basically they've got some issues here with car parking. They've got 40 spaces at the moment. 40 spaces isn't quite cutting it, so we've done a plan on our computer to show that you can get 72 spaces in here. So we'll do the levels, get the price together, send it over to them, and then we'll section the works out following that. So going to get our levels just to see how high and low and see how much muck away we need to get out of here. Just by eye you can see is at least a metre or a metre and a half difference from low point to high point. So we'll get this set up and we'll get going. So the receiver, we're going to set our 0, which will be down bottom end, lowest point, and then we'll work our way up, start getting a few of these measurements, see how much muckaway needs to go out. So just setting it to our 0, this is lowest point on the site. We'll work lowest point, that's our 0, and all our measurements from here will work off here. So we'll go to the next point, that'll be 250 mil high or 100 mil high or 200 a metre high, but we'll go and get our levels, and then when we go back and do the pricing on the computer, we'll be able to work out exactly how much muckaway needs to come out of this area. So down the yard, we've had a bit of a change around down here. We moved from that corner over there, shifted over this way for our neighbours, Thanet Grab. They're expanding, which is good to see. We only need a small yard space, so we've shifted over and we laid some of the leftovers on some of these jobs on the groundworks. Kieran's always got leftover block paving or whatever. So whatever's left over here, we've left as hard standing. Yeah, and just creating a nice little yard space for us. Again, nice and tidy. We've got a couple of young lads that do the yard tidying. They've done a good job. Offices, yard office. Now we've got a couple of cabins, a couple of storage containers, and an office upstairs that no one likes to use because it's dusty and dirty. But I prefer it down here. I prefer being down here on top of everything. We've got a nice clean office up about half a mile away, but I prefer it down here on top of all the lads and the machines and the surveyors and the estimators. So have a quick look up there because we've shifted it over. I think a few things got broken, etc. So we're going to go and have a check, see if there's any damage. So first time we've been down there in a few weeks since we moved over. So we've got the cleaners coming down next week, painters, redecorate it, rip up the carpets, etc. And again, just another base for us down here. This is where all the lads meet in the morning down at the yard, and I prefer to be down here myself, to be honest. So yeah, the next 2 weeks we'll give you a little progress, but we're going to give it a splash of paint, get it all up and running again now that we've shifted over a bit. Yeah, and get a few more videos down here. Traffic again. It's like London now. About half my day is stuck in traffic. Vans. So this old dog, the old Warrior, it's got a few scrapes and battered and bruised. This has got over 200,000 miles on the clock and still going strong, touch wood. So we had a Ford Ranger, put the picture up, and you couldn't put anything in it. The cab was crap, the pickup was crap. And it was too nice. What we do, I was chucking stuff in the back to go and drop pumps off at sites and stuff like that. But this is the bad boy. This one never moans. It tows, it pulls like a horse. It's decent. And where we need to, oh, all crap in the back there. But that's had all sorts, tarmac in it, type 1, pumps, everything. It's a good little run around, and it's just better than the other one. The Ranger, you're frightened to mess it up, whereas this one, it is a workhorse, and it's made its money. It's done well for us. Van's tidy. No. Need a sweep out badly. That needs a sweep and a clean up, jet washed. And that's it. They're the points we need. Now off those working points, we can go back, get our depths, and then again work out how much muckaway to come out, but also how we're going to retain this bit of land here. So we're coming down quite steep. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but that is quite a steep gradient. So to pull out this area, we will need to retain that grass verge and the grass area there. We need to retain that without it slipping down onto the car parking area, keep everyone safe, but also keep the car park nice and clean. So we'll go and work that out on the computer. We've got the measurements at the top end also, and we can get a price together and then go from there. I'm not even measuring anything, that was just for the camera. That's us all done now. Got the measurements we need, got the levels we need. We can go back now to the office and start putting those measurements in and start pricing this job. Again, big issue on here that I need to tell the estimator when he's putting it together is the access. As you can see, this area is very, very narrow. So we're creating a new parking space down here with turning circle, but we need to get big wagons to get muckaway out of here. And that is a very narrow in and out. So when we price it, we must price all eventualities and all issues like that, and also make the customer aware this is a hospice. This is a difficult area to work with noise, etc., etc. So we need to take all of that into account when we're pricing and when we're talking to the client, so they are aware of the disruption, lack of spaces while we're doing the work. Obviously they'll have more spaces once it's done, but we need to make them aware of the implications of the work, which will be disruption to their clientele, lack of spaces for their staff for a short term, but the long term obviously a lot more spaces, which will alleviate pressure on this area. So all done, measurements done, level measurements are done, just got to price it up now. So I'm a great advocate for this van. I said I've not replaced it. I've bought another van, but I still use this one. Never let me down. Then what happens today? I'll show you. Just get out of gear. I should stop opening my big mouth because yeah, that's the battery dead. So I'm gonna have to sort it out, and I might replace her now for that. I need to stop opening my mouth about these vans. But this was our first van, and it's done about 250,000 miles. We've done about 150,000, 175,000 of those, and she still going strong. So I'm quite loyal to the workhorse vans, and until they let us down and break down, I'll stay loyal to them. So we'll keep them going until we need to scrap. Only certain ones. This one's never let us down. Same with one of the transits down the yard that you'll see. Just a little battery issue anyway, nothing too serious. So hope I don't kill myself. Don't really know what I'm doing. It's when I need the lads to do it. Is that in? How do you work this? Alright, it's not a motor show, you don't have to come too close.